In the world of business, we're often focused on external strategies, marketing plans, and financial projections and growth hacks. But if the key to unlocking your true potential as an entrepreneur lies within, what if your inner world is just as crucial to your success as your business plan? Today, we're diving deep into the intersection of personal growth and business success with our special guest, Kareen Walsh. She's a visionary business leader and a personal people strategist. She's an author, a podcaster, an investor. Oh my gosh, I'm absolutely exhausted already. You do so much. Seven-figure business building on she works with she's a seven-figure business building entrepreneur, making the ultimate business healer. With nearly 2 decades of experience optimizing performance in health and wellness, e-commerce, technology, and finance industries, Kareen has a proven track record of helping C-suite executives turn their vision of impact into action, often 10xing their investment. Kareen is on a mission to help you integrate your inner business with your vision for external impact so you can get out of your own way and stand in alignment. In this transformative episode, we'll explore Kareen's unique Evolve methodology, uncover the secrets of successful entrepreneurs, and learn how to recognize when it's time to let go of things that no longer serve us. We'll delve into Kareen's own healing journey and discover how it shaped her approach to strategic business guidance. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for that beautiful intro.
You are pretty impressive. And everything that I've read about you, I keep hearing about you being the business healer. What does that mean?
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey. I used to be like the fixer or the closer, or, like it was more of like the strategic, like harshness that I would have to come in and reconfigure businesses. So in my 20s, I did a lot of mergers and acquisition, operational streamlining. That was a lot of words, but basically what I would go in and find was the errors, and then I would come up with the solutions and fix it. And I was always the leader that came in to bring in optimization, efficiency, manage the people, align the people, all the things. And at the time, I think it created a lot of micro traumas, right? Like change is not easy for all people. And as I developed my own EQ and ability to serve from more of a nurturing standpoint, still be very strategic and integrate those two energies, it showed up as actual healing in business. Like it was get to the root of where we are struggling the most. But when you're dealing with people, which all business is, there's always the people factor of it. There has to be some healing that occurs in order for the business to have the stronger foundation to move forward. So business healer started to become a way of people labeling me in essence, because it was like, yeah, we're going to correct your business. We're going to make your business thrive, but like make sure we actually are doing it from a whole place, not a fractured place because of maybe potential traumas that have happened in the business beforehand.
Sure. So what was it that really, I know you said you started doing that in your 20s, but what was it? How did you find your way to that? Like, how did you find that you were the person that came in to fix these broken businesses? I'm sure, it's not something someone goes to school for.
No, it comes with experience. I think where I have an innate energy is that I've always been solution oriented and like move forward. I would say though, the way I handled that young was at the detriment of my own health. And I had to realize that it doesn't have to be this dysfunctional or the suffer for success model is not something that aligns with like how I wanted to step into the world. So because I was such a capable leader so young, and really like the only difference I really saw between me and other people was the fact that I was willing to make a decision. Like, like there's,
that you realize that
yes,
made you light years ahead of other people.
Yeah. Super young. I think also I had to navigate as a child, coming from or a young adult, I should say, coming in from a fractured household in order to survive that environment and still feel like I was achieving. Because I was fortunate where I went to, college prep school before going to college, which then, the demands are super high, but
Mhm.
there was so much dysfunction at home. I had to kind of keep up with the Joneses and like show this appearance of success. And so I learned the masking techniques that occur when you still need to achieve.
Mhm.
However, on the inside could be a little fractured. So, like, my healing journey definitely my own personal healing journey is what created then the ability to stand in a more authentic leadership stance and then start to show other people how, because I had to overcome a lot of the learnings that just were
Mhm.
not aligned with how I wanted to show up in life, you
Right.
know?
Well,
Yeah.
you just touched on something about, that uh, people see, and I'm kind of taking this back to things that people see now where we don't feel we keeping up with the Joneses. We see everybody else on social media
Yeah.
and they appear to have it all. They appear to be extremely successful. Well, I'm doing this or I'm here, I'm taking shots of myself in Ibiza and I'm working remotely from Ibiza, like all of these things. And then
Yeah.
we start going, oh, wow. I am not anywhere near that.
Yeah.
I'm chained to my desk or my office or how do you deal with that? And I know that's kind of off what we're talking about, but I feel
No,
like it's
it's
really
not.
important because business owner to business owner, that's who we're talking to. And a lot of
Yeah.
us feel that way.
Yeah.
Comparison.
So, yeah, 100%. So comparison, but also aspiration. So there's both happening in those
Mhm,
moments, right? Like there's probably something that's you're aspiring for when you see that post that feels unreachable to you. That's probably because you're like, oh man, wouldn't that be so cool if my life showed up that way? So
mhm,
aspiration is one thing to actually recognize and say, I might want that. So what is my path to that? Right, like I think that the difference in the where you can create trauma for yourself or a problem is when you are comparing it and thinking you're not enough to actually go and
mhm,
achieve it. So see it as aspiration. You have no idea what's going on behind the scenes of that person. You also don't know what's in the bank. So the other thing that I like to come
amen.
yeah, like I like to like bottom line it. I was like, that's great. Those are gorgeous posts, but like what's happening in the bank account? Because just because there's all this outbound push, you have no idea what it's actually generating for
Mhm,
that particular person. So be real with yourself and say, and I always start to go in first. I ask myself, like, if that's something I desire, then who do I have to become to
sure.
step into that? And what are the shifts I need to do? Because the only thing you have control over in this life is yourself. That's
Mhm,
the only thing.
exactly.
And learning that super young and realizing, wait, I have complete control about how I choose to show up, how I choose to
Mhm,
react to something, how I choose to take action, how I choose to walk away. Like those are the privileges of being a sovereign adult in America,
mhm.
especially. Like we still have that privilege. So like why wouldn't we make more conscious choices for ourselves first? So whenever that downer energy comes in after seeing something, I would definitely start to question, well, what is it? Is it something because that's what I really desire? Or is there something going on in my world right now that I actually need to change so I can feel lighter, more excited, and connect to the life I'm leading?
I'm glad you said lighter because my whole thought process going through what we're talking about
Yeah.
is once you really put your finger on what success looks like to you,
Yeah.
meaning what your end result you want to be,
Hmm.
then then you can start pathing out that or mapping out that path,
Yes.
how to get there. And that instantly makes you feel like, oh,
Yeah.
this is
But,
okay.
I'll tell you that some people struggle with not going through struggle on how to get started, right?
Mhm,
Like because we tend to be in the same loop until new information comes in, and then that gets expanded into the loop of what we know.
mhm,
So I'm always, what are the questions you need to ask, or what are you questioning, and get to the people that have gone before you faster and start asking those questions. So
mhm.
if there is something that you want, like go ask somebody who's gone before you, because I guarantee someone has. I guarantee it. Like
Right.
your ideas are not so new and fresh that someone else hasn't done it. You've been influenced
Exactly.
by something that you desire, so you want to go figure that out.
Mhm,
So asking the questions faster is like the first thing I think about on that, which is why I launched my latest app. But I feel like the other part of it is we need to slow down and like pause to truly assess, like, where am I right now? And
Mhm.
if I desire something different in the future, then what is it that I need to start bringing into my life to help me inch towards it? And I had created years ago, it's called Strategic Life Planning Accelerator. I have that, and it's available in my app if anyone wants it. It's free, but it helps
What
you
is your
go.
app, by the way?
Oh,
What is
so
your
it's
app?
called, oh, sorry, yeah, so it's called Hey Kareen. It's
Oh,
like a
that's
hey,
hey.
yeah, it's called Hey Kareen. We're in the middle of the launch actually right now, but it just literally has gotten into the Apple and the Google Play Store. So Hey Kareen is a centralized place where you can get access to all my resources, but most of all, that I cloned myself in AI so that you can actually come in and ask your questions from someone who has 20 plus years of experience and exposure and a coaching stance, and go ahead and get the support you need. Sorry,
Oh,
I,
that's
I, I
awesome.
forgot I didn't share that with you earlier, but yeah, so that's the place. But the SLP program, why I want to share that is that if you're feeling stuck on like what is the vision,
Mhm.
right, that you have for yourself, because a
Right.
lot of us don't even pause to ask, like, what do I even want?
Mhm. You're right.
That program will guide you through it. There's a lovely workbook, but it will guide you through those prompted questions to set aside the time to start thinking about it. What do you want for your finances? What do you want in your home life? What do you want in your relationships? And it really helps you figure out like the level of impact you want. And you start to paint your ultimate vision, as I like to call it, and then work through the actions between now and there. And I'll tell you that there is actually much closer than you think once you do this exercise, because it's just a matter of then now directing your energy towards
Mhm.
that clear vision.
I love that. So that's
Yeah.
on your app.
Yeah.
That's
It's
awesome.
one of the resources on the app, and it's free.
Fabulous.
So I
Awesome.
would definitely check it out.
And
Yeah.
I'll put that in our show notes as well.
Thank
Now,
you.
you work with a lot of entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
okay? And I know that it's gonna be different for everybody, but is there 1 or 2 or 3 different kind of secret sauces, if you will,
Mm,
or little I wanna call them secret sauces that really move the needle on businesses that you have
yeah.
seen?
Yeah. So the number one thing, if ever, for every entrepreneur I've ever worked with and every like C-suite leader that is trying to create an outcome, right? Like when you're titling yourself an entrepreneur, it means you're trying to own an entity to earn for you. Like I try to make it super practical. Like, what is this about? A lot of the times I see the problem of entrepreneurs attaching their identity like to the actual business, where really if you practice a little bit of detachment to say I am building this business for means to create the life I want, right? Like it's meant to fuel your life, and just
Mhm,
shift it a little bit of seeing it as a machine for you to run or drive, or a car that you're driving, like a vehicle to create wealth for you. Then it's about asking yourself, who do I have to become to drive it to the destination that I'm hoping for? And
okay.
so the deep dive into who do you have to become, I think, is what has propelled most of the entrepreneurs I've worked with, because I get into I love that we can build a strategy for days.
Mhm,
I love that. We could totally I could show you how. Like I show you all the things you need to do in your business to earn the thing. But if you are not willing to become who you
mhm,
need to be to lead it, all these strategies will get flushed down the toilet anyway. And I don't want you wasting money on my services to do that. Right. So
right.
I always start with the core of who do you have to become? And each entrepreneur has a specific role that is innate to them, especially if they're the ones that have started the business. So if you have that founder, CEO slash,
Mhm.
I guarantee you're in a conundrum regarding the role you're meant to play
Of
in your
course.
business. Of course, that slash means a problem, because that means you're not super clear on the role you're actually meant to play in this particular business that you have started. My whole goal too is to help entrepreneurs get into that detachment energy of becoming the owner. So you are responsible and you really care about the outcomes, but you want to make sure that you're building it in a way that if you ever want to exit, that
Mhm.
you can step into that. So in my evolve methodology, which you mentioned earlier,
Right.
it is a 6-part. Evolve is an acronym.
We're gonna go through that for sure, because
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be really crucial.
Yeah, so then the who do you have to become piece is what's critical for that methodology to work. And the CEO conundrum that happens when you're the CEO founder, like you have that slash in the middle, is generally one of three distinct roles. And so that's also an acronym where you have creator, entrepreneur, and operator as a zone to stay within. And if you're not sure what that is, of course, I have a tool for you that will help you identify it, because I'm all about action. Like, I try to remove all excuses. I don't like just theory. You have to have actionable things.
Right. Now, you said, and I'm going to ask you this. You
Yeah.
said, when there's that slash. So let's say you're
Yeah.
calling yourself the owner slash founder. Do you just say I'm the founder if you are growing it and wanting to be able to eventually exit someday instead of being the owner?
Yeah, well, it depends on the role you're meant to play in the business. Because to me, a founder is defined as the creator who started it. So you came up with the concept, and so really you're in a creator stance of that 3-part thing, the CEO conundrum piece. So if you are truly the creator, then I would actually call yourself the chief product officer. Like, I would give you, if you're still in the weeds of running something in that business, give yourself the title that not only people externally will understand, but also internally know how to come to you and know how they're going to grow with you. Because when you identify that, then you go higher for the rest, because you're not meant to be all the things. So founder is great. You founded that company. Fantastic. But what is your role in it? And generally you see founder of actually after there was an exit, right? Like,
I see, right.
Because you no longer are playing a role. That's to me where it makes sense. I founded this thing. I sold this thing. I'm no longer in it.
Right.
Whereas, like, your title matters, in my opinion, and the way I've helped guide entrepreneurs is that get clear on the role you're playing right now, because then that it just exponentially accelerates how you interact with others in achieving what you want in your business, because you're clear on your lane. Like, you're clear on how you are impacting the business, so that now you and everyone else is clear on theirs too. Because if everyone started calling there, if you have co-founders too, that's confusing.
It is
confusing. It's like, no, so I'm the one that is responsible for this, and she is responsible for this. Great. Like, we know our lanes, and this is how we work together.
Know your piece of the puzzle. Know where you fit within that puzzle. Makes sense.
It also helps you embody it, So a founder is like nebulous, in my opinion.
I have founder on my business card. Well,
No, we all do. I do too. I had it for the longest time, but
it's, if you're not involved that I take that back. I am involved, but I'm not like physically.
Yeah, then that's great. That makes sense, that you're the founder of something that you'll tend to be serviced by someone else. So you can be the Pied Piper and attract the business in, but you're not the one that's like doing
the work, right?
Yeah.
We talk a lot about working on your business, not always in your business, and that all goes around.
But how it exemplifies,
exactly. So evolve.
Yes,
it's obviously an acronym.
Yes.
What does it stand for? Let's go through all the steps, because I feel like this is going to be so cool.
Yeah. So what's cool, thanks. That it's been fun. The evolve methodology is something that I realized that I had been doing, but I didn't have the fun name for it. So what was so great is that I constantly kept saying, I help businesses evolve. I help leaders evolve. Well, it's like, Kareen, what does that mean?
Exactly.
I was like, actually, I have a 6-part program, and evolve is a really good acronym, right? So we have in the evolve model, you have to picture a cycle. So evolution continues, like it is a continuous growth cycle. And the way we first get started in the methodology is the first to evaluate where you are today. So the first E is to evaluate. And I have a retrospective exercise that I do with everyone. I actually do it monthly. You get for anyone who wants to join for free. Also, that's a monthly call I do, but it's really just to help you assess where you are today towards what it is you're trying to go towards, and make sure that we know where you are, so that when we go into action steps, we know exactly what needs to happen next. So the first E is evaluate. And then the first V, it's so funny that there are two of each.
There's two in there. I'm writing them down as you're telling me them.
Amazing. So the first V is visualize. So that's that visioning exercise. So now that we know where you are, well, where are you trying to go? right?
Mhm.
Because everyone states, I want to grow, I want to grow. Well, growth can happen in so many ways, but what's it all for? Like, if we don't understand the pure destination, and my visualization exercises that I facilitate, it's not just about your business. It's about, again, who you're trying to become, and what does that fuel for your life. So it's highly integrative, where if you're going to lead this thing, we got to be clear on why you want to lead it and what does it provide you in your life.
So
So
the first V is about your why.
it's your visualization on your why, and then what it looks like, what it feels like, what it smells like what, the tangible
Mhm.
things. Like, do you want multiple homes? Do you want to
Right.
have a family? Like, what's going on with your relationships? Like, we really talk about all areas to then understand for your business, and we have obviously talk about your business there, but how is it going to fuel you stepping into that life you
Mhm.
want? Because
Right.
I think we detach too much sometimes. That, again, if we have attachment to the identity that I am the owner of, or this business is me, like the identity to the business is who I am, then we probably are not having the life we truly desire, because we're
Mhm.
putting it all into that business.
Very
So the
true.
visualization needs to include both.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the O is own it, is the best way to come to it. And that's the who do you have to become, right? Like
Mhm.
that, those are the exercises in own it, of like that role you're meant to play, getting super clear on your zone of genius. What is it that when you're looking at that vision, the things that you have to learn, you have to realize, and then figuring out the who do you need in
Mhm.
order to make sure that you're not in it alone, and also it's sustainable. So
And
your
that
role
makes
matters.
what you need. Yeah.
Yeah, in that phase. And then the L is leverage. So leverage means now breaking down your offers. What is it, the gifting that you have, the what is this business all about? Like, we look at the business model, we try to figure out what are we going to leverage in order to earn the outcome you need to fuel that life that you
Mhm.
desire. Right. So it kind of integrates into that. And in that leverage, that's where I get deep dive into the strategies, the type of business you are, making sure like your business model is sound, making sure that it actually will earn something off your offers, like how we do it in a lean way, or what we need to
Right.
change. So that's the leverage part.
That's the strategy part.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanna
And it's,
go back to own it really quick.
oh,
You
sure.
mentioned something, the people that you need.
Yeah.
And I often talk about having a personal board of directors,
Yes.
which I feel is so important. Have you seen coming into meeting all these business people or, business owners, do they already embrace that concept, or is it something where they don't even hasn't even crossed their mind that they really need to surround them? It basically is just surrounding yourself with the right people so that you can successfully continue your business, whether that's an attorney, an accountant, a marketing person, whatever.
Yeah. I think people come in with services that they have used, and potential, like the way I look at your personal board of directors, it's like that's your trusted inner circle that, like,
Mhm.
no matter what is going on with you, you're going to position yourself authentically in front of, and make sure that they guide you in a way that also, by knowing you, would help you move forward. That's the way I define it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I would say that a lot of people, especially if they're in a stuck or overwhelmed state, don't have that. Because, so I would say it's a hit or miss. Some of my more conscious leaders or entrepreneurs that I've worked with, yes, they have their conscious team. They know who to tap into for what directional expertise they need the help with. But I don't think that they do it enough, what you're talking about. And I do think that there is a missing link of knowing that it's okay to have that kind of support, but also it's okay to change it up too as you're growing.
Right.
Sometimes I have seen that some people get stuck talking to people who only go so far, and
Mhm.
it's not necessarily aligned, which is why the visualization exercise is key, because we got to know how far you really want to go, what that looks like, so that you're calling in the right inner
Exactly.
circle to
You know
help you.
who to.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
so it takes some realignment sometimes, depending on those phases of your business too. But
Mhm.
I love that. I mean, I have a trusted circle myself of different disciplines
Mhm.
to like whether it's on my health or my spiritual side or into the business realm, etc. And it's just a game changer to know you're supported in that way.
It definitely is. So we're going to go to the second V.
Yes, validate.
Uh,
Okay, so this is the phase where I love and and because I've been in tech for so long, the minimal viable product, right? Like, where are we going to sell this thing? The first thing, so after leverage, we get the offers really clear.
Mhm.
And then we have to go validate that the market actually wants it the way you're trying to sell it. A lot of the times we sit in building and building and building, and we forget to validate against our ideal market, right? So that validation step is really like, what are we going to do to ensure validation on the ideal offer we're putting out first, or the product line, or whatever type of business it is, the service.
Mhm.
And if we cannot sell at least 5 at the top price that you were hoping for, that top investment that you were hoping, at least 5, then we need to rejig it. And if the 5 were super easy, like, oh yeah, hell yeah, yeah, that's all it is. Great. Then we got to up your pricing. So validation is really about ensuring that the business model that we came up with during the leverage phase, like that we looked at your business a certain way. Now this is the testing. And the
Mhm.
validation is really for us to understand we have a model that will sell. And then we move into the final E, which is exit. So I know that sounds awkward for people who are first starting out,
Right.
but I do this methodology in a 2-day immersive with one-on-one clients, and then I do it over time with my group coaching. But the exit is something I love to bring up front because we go through this whole cycle together. Because if we don't know how you're going to exit your business, and some of it might be that it dies with you, which is fine.
Mhm.
But like there are different exit strategies that we need to understand because that informs how we actually build it. And again, the detachment you're going to need for when that exit actually shows up for you, right? Like we work on that interpersonal side too. But that's the full cycle of the Evolve methodology.
So many people miss the last step.
Yes.
I know I did,
Yeah.
because you don't, when you're starting a business or you're, in the prime of your business, you're not thinking about exiting.
No.
But it's so important, just like having a crisis plan is important. You just don't know what's going to happen or when you're going to get an offer unexpectedly. It does
Yeah.
happen to people.
Yeah.
And
It
then
does.
you don't know. And then all of a sudden your identity is gone
Yeah.
because your identity
Because you
was
were so attached to it. Exactly.
exactly.
And
Exactly.
sometimes too, and I don't know if you've been through this or have helped people through this too, where it's like exiting a certain partnership that's not working.
Oh,
I can't tell you how many times I've had to unravel business partnerships and help my entrepreneurs make sure that they are having the right communication to lead it in the right direction, knowing that that partner is no longer a fit, to
right.
make sure that that's an exit too,
It
right?
is.
Like there are different forms of exit. So exit is not just about selling your business. It's also about maybe the role you want to play. So if you want to go from the chief product officer to the owner, that's an exit. You could still
Mhm.
own the business, but there's an exit understanding in that to make sure we're building things the right way.
Right.
And I love an exit. Like I meaning like I love to leave things that no longer are a fit. So
Right.
I'm like,
Prefer
show me the door. I'm walking through it.
exactly. But
Yeah.
so many people are afraid to exit. And
Yeah.
and I'm not just talking about their business, but I may be talking about a relationship or whatever it is.
Yes.
They're afraid to do it because it's going to be a change and people are afraid of change.
Yeah.
It rocks their world and a lot of people don't know how to deal with change.
Yeah, I think I embraced that early on because I realized that accepting change and realizing fear does not exist right now allowed me to then create the life I truly desired versus sitting in an energy of stuckness
Uh-huh.
and accepting that version of myself.
Right.
Like what we tolerate, and if it goes into acceptance within us, that's who we are.
Yeah.
So I always challenge people who sit in fear because I'm like, well, what's really the story you're telling yourself?
Mhm.
Because it doesn't exist right now. You can't be
Right.
afraid of it if you didn't try, if you didn't
Right.
step into it. So like, what's the story? Is it something from your past, or are you worried about something in the future happening? Because all you can control is right now.
Right.
So
I
that's
love
why
that.
I like to show the things of like little incremental steps. You guys don't have to make big leaps all the time.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's just getting more knowledge to feel more certain to then take the next step.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be that big. And I'm fortunate that I learned that quite young, risk taking, because I hit a glass ceiling at 22, and I was like, I'm never going to let the limitations of others become my own. And I easily could have sat in that job. I easily could have continued because the paycheck, I needed it. I was living hand to mouth, but I took a risk on myself to be like, no, like I know I have more to give, right? So
Mhm.
it's really worth it to be a little uncomfortable in your learning phase, but
Mhm.
know that what's on the other side is a better, more aligned version of you.
I have absolutely loved all of your wisdom today, and it has been phenomenal. Kareen, if our listeners want to get in touch with you, how can they do so?
Yeah, so I would love to hear from your listeners. I You can follow me on Instagram at Kareen Z Walsh and DM me. I'm always in there. You can also email ask@heykareen.com. And obviously, heykareen.com is where you get the app, and I'm constantly interacting with that now because we're in the middle of it. But truly, just reach out. KareenWalsh.com is all things about me, but I'd say I'm most active on LinkedIn and Instagram.
Wonderful. Thank you so much again.
Thank you for having me.